The Global Forum for Rural Advisory Services, GFRAS, has three functions: providing a voice, providing evidence, and strengthening capacity for advisory services. So this presentation highlights what we have done in these areas in 2013. Part of our role is to provide voice for advisory services, and to do so we try to support and clarify the role of GFRAS and rural advisory services within the innovation system. We have a lot of demands being made on advisory services today, and so we engage with stakeholders to dialogue on these demands. In 2013, we produced a report with the World Bank's Scaling Up Nutrition program on what is the role of nutrition with extension education. We also conducted a webinar on the role of advisory services in resilience, and furthermore exchanged with the U.S. Institute of Peace on whether extension has any role in peace building and building after emergencies. Finally, we held an exchange with the United States Department of Agriculture's National Institute of Food and Agriculture and the U.S. Cooperative Extension System to see how we can work together on issues like evidence for policymakers, capacity, and of course, voice for extension. Another role of GFRAS is to share evidence and good practices. So in this vein, the African Forum for Agricultural Advisory Services, AFAAS, is working with partners like the Food and Agriculture Natural Resources Policy Analysis Network, FANRAPAN, and the Swiss NGO Helvetis on post-harvest management. AFAAS is also engaging on nutrition with the World Bank SUN program, the Natural Resources Institute on Climate Change, and the Gender Working Group of the Global Forum for Rural Advisory Services. Our South Asian network, AESA, represented by Rashid here, has published 22 blogs, 3 good practice notes, and 7 meeting notes, as well as reached some 3,000 members on Facebook, where they also share information. We also share information on all the different training providers in every country of the world through our Directory of Extension providers, which is the most viewed program on our site. GFRAS is also conducting an evaluation of the Brazilian extension system, as mentioned by Magdalena. Our Latin American network, RAS, is working with the Inter-American Development Bank and the FAO on a study of extension systems and reforms in 14 Latin American countries. And to further this evidence work, we're working closely with GIZ and some members here from FAO to put together a systematic collection of global good practices and advisory services. The GFRAS Gender Equality Working Group has produced a conceptual paper on gender equality in RAS towards a common understanding. Another area where we work is on capacity strengthening through networking. So GFRAS, through our Asian network, AFAAS, is working with the FAO on the Tropical Agriculture Platform's capacity development interventions. And I guess TAP people are here, very welcome. Country Fora are really a key component of the regional networks in GFRAS. They provide platforms for stakeholders to come together to influence reform and implementation of advisory services, and they help share information and documentation on innovative approaches to advisory services. So some of these country fora have convened dialogues on advisory services, like you see here in Uganda. Our country forum, UFAS, convened a dialogue on extension within Uganda. There's also south-to-south exchange between Africa and Latin America on building the country forums, and in our South Asian network, AESA, and the Greater Asian network, AFAAS, are working through country forums. Also at the regional level, we have new networks starting in Europe and the Caribbean. These were launched at the GFRAS annual meeting in Berlin and the Caribbean Week of Agriculture, respectively. Our Pacific network, PIRAS, has just had its activities institutionalized under the new strategic plan 2013 to 2017 through the Secretariat of the Pacific Communities Land Resources Division. So experience sharing and face-to-face exchange is really extremely important for people in advisory services because they don't get many opportunities to attend conferences or share information between each other. In 2013, the African Network AFAAS held an extension week with 330 participants from 30 countries in Botswana to share experiences in extension. We also have an ICT's interest group, and they held a plenary session on extension and ICT overdrive at the International Conference ICT for Ag, the Digital Springboard for Inclusive Agriculture in Kigali, Rwanda. And from that, we'll be producing a brief together with CTA. GFRAS also has a consortium on extension education and training, which was formed to promote the use of the new extensionist. This was a revisioning of the role of extension focused on facilitation within agricultural innovation systems and the need for capacity at individual, organizational, and system level. This was produced as part of the GCARD process, as Magdalena has mentioned. So right now the consortium has been collecting curricula and identifying core competencies for people in extension, holding webinars together with the Association for International Agricultural and Extension Education to continue the discussion. And networks such as RESCAR in West and Central Africa are using the new extensionist as a basis for discussions on extension and the needed competencies in their region. So to support the three functions of GFRAS that I mentioned, we're trying to better engage with producer organizations and the private sector as important actors for rural advisory services. That's part of the reason we're here in Rome this week, is to present our discussions from our annual meeting in Berlin in 2013, and also the electronic discussions that ensued, to take them to the Farmers Forum tomorrow at IFAD. Also in 2013, we conducted a midterm review to be informed if we're doing the right things and doing things right after 3.5 years of operation. So the recommendations we received in this report clearly indicated ways that we can enhance balanced responsibility sharing at the operational level and also tackle the challenge of our stakeholder base. So based on all of this, what we did in 2013, where are we headed this year? We really recognize the diversity of our network and our members and affiliates, and also the need to work with partners to achieve our goals. We're thus engaging with the national and regional bodies, as well as with FAO, World Farmers Organization, GFAR, the World Bank, GIZ, and others to encourage dialogue and produce evidence on good practices, leading to better rural livelihoods. Our annual meeting 2014 is going to be held in Buenos Aires, Argentina, on the topic of evidence and practices in RAS policies. So we hope to see many of you there. Thank you.